Welcome in to Moving the Chains, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. I'm Kevin Thomas alongside Drell Hendricks. Got a great interview lined up today. The new head coach of the Heathwood Hall Highlanders, Tymere Zimmerman. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. And no need to. Everything's going good.
Good. We appreciate your time. We really do. If this is you guys' first time tuning in, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, etc. at Movin Chains, our website, movingchains.com, and our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Coach Zimmerman was hired as the head coach in November. He was on staff at Heathwood Hall for the past season. Prior to that, he coached at Marlboro County, Lexington, Lower Richland, and Presbyterian College. He played collegially at Newberry College and graduated from high school at Marlboro County. Coach, let's start there. What's that transition been like, coming on board with Heathwood last year, kind of moving to that associate head coach role there for a while once Coach Reed stepped down, and now getting the keys to the whole ship, I guess, here back in November?
It's been an experience, but it's been fun doing it at the same time. Being able to being coached by one of the best high school coaches ever, in my opinion, Dean Boyd. Just watching him figure things out on the fly when he first came to Marlboro. I remember we weren't that good in football, and then him taking us that second year that he'd been there, 15-0 to the state championship. And I think we lost like 5 games within the next 5 years of that. Just being able to hit the ground running, man, just finding ways to make things happen, not complaining, just trying to figure it out. So it's been good. The kids been good, the community, the support, everything's been great.
Coach, we'll get into your background a little bit. We'll talk about your playing career a little bit later, but want to get into your coaching career. It's kind of been unconventional. You're coaching here in the Skeezer ranks. If you don't mind documenting, your professional career in coaching.
So I started out at Marlboro County. Of course, when I got out of college, I came back. I played arena football for 11 years, and then I was coaching. I played in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is not that far from Bennettsville, Marlboro County. So I was coaching high school there. Coach Boyd brought me on board to coach football there. So I was coaching. I was one of them football players always, when you're in college, man, I'm not being no coach. But then once you get there and you see the difference that you make in kids' lives, like it's hard to separate that part. When you can take a kid from Marlboro County and help them get out of town and go do something with their life, like that part sticks with you. And being around during that time, was able to help so many kids go to college, seeing how hard Coach Boyd worked and how much time he spent away from his family, actually to sacrifice helping us, people like me, get out of Marlboro County, and I wanted to be a part of that. So then I coached there for a time, and then I came to Lexington. My first job was at Lexington in Columbia. I took a job with Josh Depp at Lexington, and then we had a remarkable year that year. I mean, it was like unheard of. We went and beat Dorman in the first round of playoffs, and then we ended up losing to Burns that year. And then next year, Dara Page, who's also from Bennettsville, South Carolina. He's from Marlboro County. Hired me at Lower Richland, and I was an office coordinator at Lower Richland for like 6 or 7 years. And when Coach Page stepped down, I stayed on with Coach Rodney Barr. And then that's when COVID came, and Coach Barr had left. And I don't know, a lot of people don't notice, I actually took the receiving coaching job at AC Floor under Coach Curtis, under Dustin. And before I went to meetings and everything, before we got to start, that's when Coach Spain gave me the receiver coaching job at Presbyterian College. So I never got to coach a game or coach the kids at AC Floor. And what's funny was Dustin gave me AC Floor gear. And so I was trying to get it back to him. It was like after week 1, they won. And now Coach Boyd, Dean Boyd, have everybody from Marlboro. We always superstitious when it comes to football. Might not be nothing else that go on in your life, but anything football-wise, it's going to be superstitious, I guarantee you. So they won their first game, and I was like, Coach, I get it to you when the next game maybe. And they ended up winning. They asked Coach, they went all the way. They won a state championship. So I still have these AC Floor codes in my car, in my Jeep right now. Yeah.
Did they send you a ring?
Nah, I need to talk to them about that. Yeah, I kept them. Them clothes are still in my car right now. Them clothes are still in my Jeep right now. So I went to coach at Presbyterian College. I coached there for 1.5 years, and then I got out of coaching because my son is getting older. And being in college ranks, that kudos to every college coach in America that do it, that has a family, because that time away, man, like people don't understand. Like you college coaches are human too, man. They have life. They need love. They need to be around family, and it's so many sacrifices that they make to make good programs. And I was at Presbyterian, we wasn't a USC or Clemson, so you can imagine the time and effort every coach put in. And then you have people beating you down, talking about performance on the field. At the same time, you trying to raise your family, you ain't at your kids' function, you helping out other kids. Like, people don't look at that part. And that's what I got into. I want to be there for my son and my daughter, my oldest daughter. She started playing basketball, so I was like, all right, really want to coach college no more. And so that's when I took a job working with Gucci, which was probably the most out-of-box thing I ever did. Never did anything retail, no idea about it. Just happened that one of my friends put me on one job, then I ended up doing that, and I liked it. But my calling and my purpose is to help kids. And I was enjoying working at Gucci, but every day I was empty. Like, I knew I used to train kids on the weekend, a little bit of time I had, and I wanted to get back in coaching. So therefore, that's why I ended up coming here to take the JV job with Coach Reeks when he took the head coaching job here. And I was a JV coach, and our JV season went good. And I ended up taking over when Coach Reeks stepped down. By far, Coach Reeks is a great coach. By far, he's a great coach. I learned a lot from him. And I ended up taking over after the season had me associate coach with Coach Rip Blackstone, who's already here. I think he'd been at PC for like 38 years. Like, it's crazy. But he's a good coach. Man, just wanted to get it where the seniors on the football team can have a good experience, man, and just go out with a bang. And one thing that I learned during that process was sometimes, like, stuff happened and you got to jump in. And one thing that I learned, the kids here, the football players, because it's easy to just shut it down. They could have easily just shut it down. Man, you would go to practice. These kids was at practice. Nobody missing practice. They working hard, everything, man. And that really, like, let me know what kind of program we're going to have going forward, because the seniors they went through so much last year with Coach Reed stepping down, the uncertainty, and they came in and they bought in, and the younger guys seen it. Because from there to now, I'm here at 7:00 every morning, 6:30. Players in the weight room, after school they're in the weight room. On the weekends they want to get work in. Like, those seniors set that bar for those kids to come.
So, Coach, like we mentioned, and you just said there, you got the full-time job. I guess in November you were officially hired. Mm-hmm. Were you able to keep most of the staff intact? Were you able to bring some guys in, or do you have any spots you're still kind of looking to fill now?
Actually, I think I done closed down bringing people in. Our first full coaches meeting from middle school, because I'm over the middle school. Mm-hmm. So middle school all the way to varsity, those guys, we're gonna meet on Thursday for the first time, so everybody can meet each other. What's the good part about this building the staff was we had so many parents that volunteered help here at Heathwood. Did a great job by far, and all of them still gonna help out this year. But I wanted to get some football coaches in, some guys that got skin in the game, that play football. Some of these coaches play football too. Some young guys to bring around. So now we can pair them up with the parents and then spread out over here. So we'll be able to see how that goes. It's going to be good. Now, it's going to be different for the kids, because it'll be more adults there, more football adults there for every position. It's not like you have two people coaching this one team or whatever. So trying to get all three teams a full staff to build a program.
So, Coach, you have an obvious, offensive background, and an extensive one at that. What types of philosophy do you plan on bringing in schemes on the offensive side of the ball? And then what do you look for on your defense? And will you call offensive plays?
Mm-hmm. Offensive plays, Frank Fulmore coached with me at Lower Richland. When Darryl Page gave me the job, Frank Fulmore, he was at Plymouth Prep last year, I think it was, yeah. But he coached with me at LR for a couple of years, and he helped me with offense when I was there, so I'm bringing him in. He'll be helping me with offense here, which would be great. I mean, I love offense. But being here, man, offensively, man, it's going to be – I think it's going to be something good, man, because I got arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the state regardless of class, and Patrick Belt. Like, I mean, I watch him throw from my office with the kids outside the other day, and I'm sitting there like, man, this kid – And college coaches have been coming by asking about him. He broke his foot the second game of the season last year. Had been limping, which was hurtful to him. But I don't seen him work and come back. He put the work in. A lot of college coaches have been coming around. He probably got invited to so many camps. James Madison, Furman, like it's so many camps that college coaches just want him to come on campus to see how he's recovering from his foot, just to see him through. So once this June session stuff go by, everybody will be able to see the Patrick belt. Of course, you got owners who play defense, but he did play a lot of offense. He good at playing receiver too. And then if you think about it, also like a lot of our offensive line last year was the captains of the team, Cooper Horton, those guys. They graduated, and with them graduating, that's our sophomore class might be the biggest class at this school when it comes to sports. Even when it comes, like if you think about basketball wise, we had not one senior on the team. The starting 5 was sophomores, and those are the same kids we got at football, like Julian Hughes, who already have two D2 offers. Probably gonna pick up D1 AA or mid-major offer coming up soon. Chip Ravenel play receiver. Those guys, and then the junior that I have, Jackson Noble, play DB. Jackson got to be about 6'3", about 170. Play cornerback pretty good. He ended up breaking his thumb last year. We had the injury bug last year,
man.
So, but those guys will help also on offense. I mean, in Skeezer, it's hardly ever that you could just play one side of the field. Like with those, we got the best skill guys, I think. And we just got to go out and perform that part.
So, Coach, obviously, like Trill said, you got offensive background, play a little receiver. You also play some DB in high school as well. Do you like to kind of sling it around? Is that kind of your philosophy, or what are you thinking for your offense this year?
I think with the receivers we have, and with the running back, Grayson Hahn coming back, and Julian Hughes play running back too. And with Patrick, you got to utilize Patrick, man. Patrick is that guy. So throwing the ball, he can do that pretty good. He can read the field. Like Patrick is a real life Russell Wilson like type of player. Like he really can control the game. The guys look up to him. So he got the keys to the car. Patrick has the keys to the car. So that'll tell a lot.
Coach, you mentioned you've got a pretty impressive resume, and you've worked with some great coaches. You mentioned Coach Page, obviously Coach Boyd, Coach Curtis, and Coach Stepp, who have all done great things in this state. But who are maybe some other influence you've had, maybe at the college level? Someone you look at the pro level who's influenced your style.
I like that. That's like probably one of the. So, Tommy Bowden recruited me at Clemson, right?
Yes.
From 2001, when Tommy Bowden offered me my 10th grade year in high, and my 10th going into my 11th grade year in high school. When he first took the job at Clemson from Tulane, from that day until today, as of yesterday morning, I called Coach Bowden on his phone, and I probably call Coach Bowden probably once every 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I talk to him at least once every 2 weeks. Rick Stockstill. I talk to Coach Stockstill more probably than I talk to people in my family. I talk to them a lot. Like I always just bounce stuff off, just regular conversation, not even about football. No football conversations, just about life and different stuff like that. And when I told you I worked at Gucci. You work at Gucci, you run into some pretty people in there. So
for sure.
when I was working at Gucci, I would come out from the back. I was doing inventory, so I would come out from the back sometimes, and I would just go talk to people. One day I go out and I'm just talking to this guy. We're having a great conversation, and we end up talking about college football. So we've been talking about 30 minutes, and I don't know his job. He don't know my job. He know I work at Gucci, so I could tell he just waited for me to say something wrong. So we sitting there talking, and he was like, "What college team you like?" I was like, "Man, I like a lot of colleges, but I like Clemson." You know what I mean? I like Clemson. You know what I mean? I was like, Coach Sweeney, one of the best coaches. Like just messing around with him, like whatever. He was like, "Nah, we can't have this conversation no more." And I was like, "What you mean?" And it ended up being Coach Atkins, the offensive coordinator at Florida State. So since that day, So me and him been pretty tight. Like I talked to him a lot, and we've been connecting. How I end up really like changing my idea of being at Gucci, I could have took a bigger job with Gucci. But you know what made me come back to college, come back to coach high school football? I had a
What's that?
conversation with the guy, one of the top people in NASCAR, Marcus Smith.
Yeah.
Bruton Smith, so Marcus Smith.
Yeah.
So Marcus Smith came in Gucci, same thing, go out and have a conversation, had no idea who he was, had a whole conversation with him, talking about life and everything. Man, we end up connecting, and we're like, me and Marcus, just like, we call each other brother now. That's how good it is, man. We call each other brother. And
me and Kevin are big NASCAR guys. We got to get some tickets now.
We'll work on it, man. I'm gonna send Marcus this thing. We're gonna work on that. We can make that happen. So listen, so we got to talking, and I ended up meeting his wife Cassie, call her sister. So Marcus, the Coca-Cola 500 2 years ago, she said, "Y'all want to go? Do I want to go to the race?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've never been to the race before." Man, we went to the race, man. That's when I realized that NASCAR fans might be the most dedicated fans in the world, like bar none. I don't care how much a soccer person cheer in the stands or whatever. When you get out there, you see them thousands of RVs parked out there that they say been out there for a week, and them fans is out, man. That is like, I mean, that is life to them. So we ended up going to the Coca-Cola 500. Got there, was on the infield, like being able to see all that, man. It was like, it was amazing. So keeping that relationship with Marcus, and I got to talk to him. He came in the store to get some shades, and I was like, Marcus, man, I'm thinking about going back to coach high school football. Like, I missed it. I want to do that. He stopped me in the middle of the conversation. He said, "Tymere, those kids need you." He said, "Listen to me, those kids need you. You make that happen." And not knowing that the JV job, that I was going to even apply for a job at Heathwood, all that ended up happening the next couple of days. It was like God sent. And so that's how I end up back coaching high school football.
That's an awesome story. That's a really cool story.
Yes.
I love asking these coaches this question here. Obviously you've been a coach for a long time now, college, arena, high school, all that stuff. How did you know that you were ready to take that step to be a head coach and not just kind of be an assistant anymore?
I mean, you get that itch sometimes, man. Like you want, like, you know how, like, you want certain stuff to go a certain way, or you want to just try it. Like I'm a challenger, man. Like I won't, like I'm okay if stuff don't go the right way. Like I want to figure it out. Like I just wanted to put my feet in the same shoes that those coaches that helped me out did. And just being able to do that, like just asking the kids, just give me everything you got and live with the results. That's why I tell my kids every day, like schoolwork, anything, just give everything you got, just live with the results. And that's how I looked at it. Like, do I want to be the head coach here? Like, yeah, I do want to be the head coach. Why you want to be the head coach, Tymere? Because I want to be the leader of the team. I want to be able to lead these kids and show them different things that they've never seen before and make them feel important. And also just make them give it, like I said, make them give everything they got.
Coach, you mentioned your experience, extensively in high school coaching, college coaching as well, but also as a player. You have Onus, who is a big time prospect now, big D1 prospect. How does that experience as a coach and as a player in both the collegiate and professional ranks, how does that help with, his recruitment, and how do you help, translate those relationships you've built with college coaches to help players that you have now and in the future?
Oh man, it's been great, man. Like, so I give you a story where you say the relationship part about coaching. West Virginia came here. Blaine Stewart came to the school, and he walked in, and I looked at him without, like, I remember writing his name down to put him on the gate. You got to put him at the gate to come in. I remember seeing the text message. He come in, I see his face. I'm like, man, this kid, he looks so familiar. So we're getting there talking, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, wait. When I went to Fort Union. I don't know if y'all know that. I went to Fort Union. Yeah. When I went to Fort Union, I took a visit to West Virginia. I almost went to West Virginia. That's when they had Chris Henry, Pat-Man Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Joseph Coach Adai that was at Miami. Mm-hmm. We played against them. Bill Stewart recruited me. Yeah. My mom, like a guy, like Coach Bill Stewart recruited me. I remember when he was a kid. So I sat down and I said, "What's your dad name?" I say, man, and I started telling him everything about what was in his house, where they lived at when they was in West Virginia, everything, man. He got in there, he was like, "What?" And that's how small the world is, man. Like, small, it's just like that. Like just the connection that you have. Like Justin Watts, who's from Florence, South Carolina, played against him in high school. Willie Simmons at Duke. But both of them, Justin's at Duke now too. Willie Simmons when he was at Clemson. So we got relationships at that part. Even the coaches I got, like Joey Ork, who was at Virginia, Stuart Hunt, North Greenville, Coach Spang at Furman, Perry Parks, played against him in college. Newberry College beat, everybody know this, Newberry College beat Coastal Carolina. Just want to let y'all know that.
Go Wolves.
Yeah. Perry played for them then. So just having those relationships with those people, even when I wasn't coaching, even when I got out of coaching, I still checked on them. So now when I'm here, all those guys are lined up to come in the spring and check my guys out. So those relationships mean a lot. Like I had people, you get this, like college come through here and everybody at school or somebody found out they came and say what they had to say about owners. I had a lot of schools come through here that didn't even ask about owners. They was asking about Patrick, Chip, Julian, Jackson Noble, those type of guys, the other guys that's on the team. And that's why I tell them, I said, nah, because even the kids come in there and say, Coach, what was such and such was here for? You think they can get owners? I said, nah, they weren't here to see owners. They was like, what? They didn't even ask about them? And I was like, nah. Like, so it's people that I know coming to check on, coming to see what we got. That means a lot, man, because I tell parents all the time that people say it's not about what you know, it's who you know. That thing, that go a long way. And having good, and that come from having good rapport with people, man. Just being able to keep connections and talking to people, like treat them like good people. They're gonna always come through for you.
Obviously, Coach, most folks should know about Conan Banny, a huge recruit for this year's class. You mentioned your quarterback, Patrick Belt, as well, a potential star in the making. Who are some other guys that we should look out for this year as the season gets rolling for the Highlanders?
Oh, my gosh. Julian Hughes, play safety for me. He ended up messing his ankle up the last home game we had. The last game we played Hammond, not our last game, but the game we played Hammond. First play of the game, he come down, make a tackle, he messed his ankle up. If he playing that game, he would have 100 tackles on the season. And he was just a sophomore last year. He really was good for us. Really was good for us last year. And like I mentioned before, Jackson Noble, he's going to become our kid. Play cornerback. He was really good. He ended up breaking his thumb. Actually, in that same game, Hammond game, he ended up breaking his thumb in the Hammond game. And then we got Nick Nichols, who's probably one of our best out. He played quarterback for us some last year when Patrick went down. He played quarterback, running back, receiver, kick return, cornerback. He played every position because we had to use him. But he'd be out till he just had surgery, so he'll be out till like the middle of the season. And most of those kids will be here for a while because they'll be most of them just juniors.
So we're starting to transition now. It's finally spring, starting to heat up here. So that means we got spring practice and then summer schedule. Do you have that spring practice schedule finalized? And this summer, you plan on doing 7-on-7s, 11-on-11 stuff? You got anything in the pipeline?
Yeah, so we just got our full schedule for SCSA last week. So we've been every coach at SCSA has been trying to like hustle and bustle to get the middle school and JV schedule figured out. We got our varsity schedule figured out. We start spring practice May 13th we go 13th through the 17th, 4 to 6 p.m. And then we'll go the 20th through the 24th, same time, 4 to 6 p.m. And then we hitting it 7-on-7s. We'll do some local ones that we still set up now, but my team, we registered to go to Tennessee, University of Tennessee, 7-on-7 on the 6th. We'll be at Chapel Hill on the 12th, and we're at USC on the 17th, and possibly we could be going to University of Georgia one on the 22nd. So we doing that, and we're gonna do some local 7-on-7 stuff. Got scrimmages set up. We'll be going with Orangeburg Prep in Carolina, right before the season start, and then we'll be going with Northside Christian, and I got a scrimmage set up with C.A. Johnson and another school.
So, Coach, you went to Marlboro County, a bigger school then, obviously still, a bigger school now as well. And then you coached a lot of bigger schools. Now in the SCSA ranks, you've got, like you said, almost everybody's playing both ways. How does that kind of adjust the way that you may, schedule a practice just so you make sure you don't wear kids out, but they still get enough work on both sides? How does that kind of work for you guys?
It works in a unique way because, like, the way. So, back then, long time ago, you could practice. The coach would practice you like 2 a days, 17 a days, 25 a days, like every hour on the hour. You know what I mean? You used to do that, but now you have to like use that 2-hour window that you got to like just try to fit it in, man. And then do a lot of conditioning on the side to help them build that stamina to be able to play both ways. Because every kid, the good part about it is you don't have no kids that's like, Coach, I just want to play this. You have kids that want to do it all. That's the unique part about it. So it's not like before, if you had a kid that play receiver, and, kids, how kids are, man. I just play receiver, coach. I don't play DB. Coach, I just play DB. I don't play receiver. You know how that goes. So you don't have it that part. So just trying to fit that time in, that time window, like splitting practice or going to whole practice and the next day doing a whole practice and just make sure they retain information because you know how it goes, man. Once it's like this superpower that come in with kids once the game start. Like you might not think they can do it, but then once the game start, the person that got the injury all week and then on Friday the injury disappear. So kids have that situation going on. So,
Coach, program building is huge in football, and you have the opportunity to put your stamp on this Heathwood Hall program. Your kids have faced a lot of adversity. You're the third coach there in 3 years, and you mentioned the injury bug you guys faced last year and didn't really have the season that you wanted to. The kids kind of took the mantle, your seniors from last year and kind of set the tone. But what's something you particularly, looked to do to put your stamp on the program and kind of create your culture for the future?
Man, so what I did was we started last week. We started a Heathwood flag football program from 2nd to 5th grade. And I must have got 65 kids who signed up for the program. So because those kids can't do spring football. So, and we tied in the younger kids into it. And we'll continue to do that even going through the summer. Like we're doing it for the spring now, but we're probably going to keep doing it all the way through the summer. So now those kids are, even if they learn us one thing each week, they'll be able to build into the program that we got going on. Also, now I got it where I put it where all coaches will meet on Sundays. Everybody meet on Sundays. But the middle school coaches, all of us will be on the same page. We build our program, everybody be on the same page, just in case, just so next year, when we get to this point next year, every kid will know what's going on. Every kid will know what they got to do. Every kid will know the plays. I know this type of stuff. Because I say 40% of practice is giving kids information that they need to know. That's most of practice, like teaching them this, da. Now, once you if I can go ahead and get them built into the physical part of it, so now in the mental part of it, so now when we get to practice, now we can work on skill and not just being, hey, we need to be here, we need to do this. They already know what to expect when they get to that part. So, and it's different because every kid, like my juniors on my team, my sophomores, like, man, I wish we could have did that when we was that age. Like, because what I did was on the teams that I formed, my juniors and seniors are coaching the teams. So they are in charge of the teams, and these kids that's on the teams take it serious, very serious. So that's been working out pretty good. And just building a bond with the kids. Like one thing I learned, man, it's hard to discipline a kid if you don't got a relationship with them. That'll lead to disaster. Like that's one thing I do. I build a relationship with all my kids, with kids that don't even play football. Because at the end of the day, the kids that play football is going to be around the kids that don't play football. That's why you got to build a relationship with everybody they be around and make sure, because if the person that don't play football is struggling and the other kid going to be there around them, they're going to feel some part of that. So that's why you got to build a relationship where you can help all that part. So that's what I try to do. I walk around the school all the time. I'm never in my weight room, but I don't have a class. I'm always in the 4th grade. I'm in the 3rd grade. I'm in the middle school. I'm always sitting in the classroom, not just for my football players, but for any kid in the school, because I think I probably got like 13 kids who didn't play football last year that's going to come out and try it in the spring. Like that type of part is like building a relationship with them.
Take your financial game to the next level with Founders Federal Credit Union. Reach your full potential. Relax. Join Founders today. Visit an office near you or relaxjoinfounders.com to apply. Federally insured by NCUA, member qualification required.
Coach, got a couple easier ones here for you before we let you go today. So maybe it's a home game on Friday in your office, or maybe it's on the bus ride to an away game. What's on that pregame playlist when you're getting ready for the action?
Oh, oh man! You know I got to go with it. This right here gonna shake some heads right here now. You know what? My first song gonna be. Yeah, I don't even know what song it's gonna be, but you know the first person I'm gonna play is let me see y'all guess this. The greatest singer of all time. Who is that?
Ooh,
female. There you go.
Ooh, that's tough. Greatest female.
I mean, like Aretha Franklin. Is that where we're going with this?
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
Oh, we're going with Ashanti.
Ashanti.
Okay.
Ashanti.
Okay.
You gotta play Ashanti. You know, gotta play some Ashanti. And then you know,
you playing Nelly after that?
I'm a Morgan Wallen fan too now.
Okay. Get some
I like Morgan Wallen. Like Little Baby. I like Frank De Niro, one of my people from home. Trap Dickie from them guys. Those guys is from my from the PD area. Yeah, but I'm gonna go with a heavy on Ashanti right there.
Okay. I would have never guessed that, Coach. Ashanti. I love it. I love it. This is a question we ask everybody who joins our program. Me and Kevin are foodies. We're coming down to a game, Heathwood Hall. Where are we going to eat before the game?
Hold on, you mean like before the game?
Before the game, we can go after too. It doesn't matter.
Oh, before the game, you'll be easy because you can just go to Bernie's right there.
Okay.
Bernie's Chicken. If you never been to Bernie's,
I have not.
Wow.
I've heard great things, but I have not been to Bernie's Chicken.
So you can go to Bernie's. Bernie's is 2 miles from Heathwood. So you go to Bernie's, fill up, and just drive straight down the road and turn into Heathwood right there.
Okay.
Yeah, Bernie's Chicken. Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So, Coach, you know, I got to say this. So I grew up in the PD area. I grew up watching your highlights on the end zone on Friday nights and at Blitz and whatnot. So I know how good of a player you were. Some of the people who watch him might not quite know, but, you know, All-American at Newberry, South Atlantic Conference record for touchdowns and catches still. I think out of Marlboro County, number 32 player in the country, 161 catches, 3,300 yards, 40 receiving touchdowns in high school, plus 27 picks, 264 tackles on defense. You were all over the field, man. How fun was that high school run you guys had? Because y'all had some studs. Not only you had Savell Newton. I mean, some great players at Marlboro County. How fun was that, 4 years you had there at Marlboro County under Coach Boyd?
Man, it was like, so my ninth grade year, I get to high school, right? And I call myself, because AAU basketball was starting to get kind of crazy. So I call myself like, man, I ain't playing no football. I'm just going to play basketball. So Coach Boyd took the job my ninth grade year. So it's the first day of practice, his first day there. Like, I never met him before. I went to school the first day of school, went to school. I don't know. I didn't know him from nothing. So I went home. I told my friend, I ain't playing no football. I'm going to play basketball. So I get home. Trey Woodbury, the head coach of Hannah Pampico, comes to my house, knocks on the door. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, Coach Boyd want to know you want to play football. And I was like, I don't got no ride there. So he put me in the car and drove me back to practice. And Coach Boyd meet me at the thing, say, you want to play football? I say, I guess. He's all right, go get your stuff. So now I end up playing football. So he created an environment to make us he literally had all of us thinking nobody can beat us. I can't even explain it to you. He had us believing that we can beat anybody in the world. And we didn't know no different. We didn't know no different. I remember us playing Chirag going into my summer. We ended up not winning. I played JV and they got moved up to varsity. But I remember getting in the varsity game against Easley. They had Eric Meekins on their team. He was probably one of the hugest people I ever seen play running back. But my 10th grade year, we start off with Chirag. We beat Chirag, which is a crosstown rival, and we had to play Sumter week 2. And Sumter was really good. They was ranked in the nation and all. They was really good. They had Jamacia Jackson. They was really good. And we beat Sumter 10-7. And we got into the locker room, and I remember Coach Boyd saying, this is what it need to feel like. So everybody like bought into at that point. And if you ever have anybody on this show that played for Dean Boyd, this man will give you a pregame speech to have you ready to run through the Army by yourself. And the Army can use all their weapons. He had us, so every game he had us like that. Like, I mean, like from winning that game to going to play Wilson in the final week for the region championship, because they was undefeated at the time too. And they had a lot of people on my team would laugh when they hear about this. So Wilson always have South Carolina State band come perform at a game, and so we was warming up, and so they told us, Coach Page told us we need to get out the field earlier, but Coach Boyd uses those tactics for us. So he was like, "We're not moving," so we like throwing passes between the band while they want to do. Finally get out the field. So like he get in the locker room, he's like, "They don't respect you," and we end up beating them. Man, it was pretty good. Same thing with Ridgeview. Oh my gosh, I remember going to the state championship game, him telling us, like, so you got to understand, some of us, like me and a couple of my teammates, we never been to Columbia before. So I remember getting off the bus and seeing the big buildings downtown. I'm thinking, this is the honest truth. I never been there before. I'm thinking like, man, I thought under the big buildings was in New York. So we like starstruck already getting off the bus, like, what is this? And then we get to USC Stadium and like see that part. And Coach Boyd telling us, yeah, this is what they live in. Y'all live down here in the country. Yeah. Y'all, because if you go to Marlboro, you got to go through the cotton fields. Cotton fields on both sides of the stadium. You live down there in the country, and then these pretty boys, nice. Oh my gosh, yeah, man, it was. Oh yeah. So that was that.
I love that, man. I still wish the game was in Columbia State title game. I love State. And
man, it was unreal.
That, I wish it was still at Williams-Brice. But transitioning, we're gonna alienate those fans there. Me and Kev are Clemson fans, huge ones. So gotta ask you. You mentioned you still keep up with the Clemson program. What is your current outlook on the program? What do you think is the state of the program? And what are you thinking about that first game in Atlanta against Georgia?
I think the program is on the up. And the reason why I say that is because anytime you can get people to believe one thing and they all look and go in the same direction without nobody believing something different, in a locker room on a football team, it's going to be hard to beat them no matter what. Because sometimes you can have the less talent, and you can go out there and compete with a good team because everybody's on the same accord. I think that's what Clemson. Everybody want them to be like everybody else by hitting the portal, doing this. They showed at the end of last year that you don't got to do that. You don't have to do it. But once you get everybody on the same accord and you get everybody playing the same way, I think it's going to be different. And I think what's going to change college football is after Clemson be great this year, it's going to make coaches start understanding we need to build a program, not microwave. No put it in the microwave and get it hot right now. Because the microwave ain't been working. It has not been working. Even when you look at it this year from Michigan winning the national championship, some of those players at Michigan for 3-4 years.
It's true.
They wouldn't everybody that got the Porter kids that they didn't make a difference in their program. It was those guys that was there 3-4 years. So if those guys can stay in Clemson program for 3 or 4 years, 3 years from now, everybody going to be right back up where they was thinking about what they're doing. And Coach Sweeney see the part. He see the long game, not the microwave game. Yeah, that's where we at with Clemson football.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, so Coach, obviously I know that you've been around the state your whole life. Like, a lot of the history about the state. So another fun one here. I want to hear who's your, Mount Rushmore of receivers to come through the high school ranks here in the state of South Carolina. So there's been a lot of talent. Don't be humble now. I know one guy who's got to be on there. So come on.
Yeah, one guy got to be on there. I got to go with my first choice. Ain't no particular order here. Okay. I got to go Roscoe Crosby.
Okay. Yep.
I got to go Roscoe Crosby. I got to go AJ Green.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Charles Ben.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, okay.
Charles Ben. He was maybe not Charles. He was an athlete. Let me move Charles. Okay. He'll be on the athlete of rock, but because he did everything. Charles Ben was like, kudos to him. That guy. He was like that. We talking just high school football, right?
Let's just do high school. Yeah.
Just in high school, right?
Yeah.
Roscoe, Aries.
Okay.
I'm not Aries. I mean, AJ Green.
Yep.
Aries was athlete too, so he can't even get there. There's no way.
Got two more.
Man, it is Brian Scott. Brian Scott.
Okay.
Brian Scott. I remember, let me tell you this. I remember high school, my ninth grade year, I seen Brian Scott do the Lambeau leap in the stands after catch a touchdown against us. The referee did not throw a flag. Did not throw a flag. So Brian Scott. And the last one, this is just mine. Don't y'all be mad at me out there now. It's just me. Derek Hamilton.
Okay. Noodle D-Ham. I like it.
There you go. Derek Hamilton.
I like. Well, Coach, I tell you, like I said, I grew up. I'd have put you on the list. You're on my Mount Rushmore of receivers. So you were quite a stud and a lot of fun to watch, man. But last one here for you. Obviously, you know, we're just getting into spring ball, like Drell said. What are some goals for the 2024 season for Heathwood Hall?
Man, the goals, like I told the kids, man, goals are meant to be reached. I want every kid. My first goal is every kid to do their best, to be the best player they can be the best version of them on the football field, off the football field. I want my second goal my first goal when it comes to football games is play it, give every game the best you can give it, and live with, like I told you earlier, just live with the results. Because at the end of the day, most times when you go in after a game as a person that you played in a game or as a coach, you think about what you could have did, blah, blah, blah. But you want to eliminate the skill and the strategies of a game, but never go question your effort. So that's the one thing I want to do. And then I want us to just be able to, I want everybody to be able to say that Heathwood program is changing. That's our goal after every game. I don't want people thinking they're gonna schedule us on homecoming.
I love it. Well, this has been great. I want everyone to go check out Coach Zimmerman and the Highlanders program on Twitter and Facebook. They do a great job posting updates about their kids and highlights. So definitely go follow them on everywhere, all those platforms. Like I mentioned, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, etc. at Movin Chains, website movingchains.com, and podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Movin The Chains brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Drill. Anything else for Coach? Let him go today.
I mean, this is a special one, Coach. We really appreciate your time. You know, Kevin and I grew up, fans of Clemson, so we already had you there. We're fans of high school football, obviously. You're one of the greatest to ever touch grass in this state. So, and then now, being a coach, we just congratulate you on, assuming that head coach role there at Heathwood Hall. We know you're going to do great things because you've done great things in everything that you've done, whether it be sports or even in retail. So we look forward to your growth and development in the program, and look forward to catching up with you during the season.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much.
Coach, appreciate it. Look forward to stopping by a practice or game and getting to meet you. And best luck, all right?
All right. Open invitation.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.